YouTube. Oh god, I'm turning into a fucking British father. Ugh. Any. I like Farfar. I'm not. I just don't want to be a copy, you know. Anyway, welcome. We're going to be doing a deck profile. So I have made it. So if I switch to here, actually, it's probably better I did it here. So I actually didn't set up because I'm an idiot. Uh, so first things first, let me add their webcam because we need to add that there. Oh fucking hell! There, that works. Hi, I'm tiny. It's not very good, is it? But it is what it is. You can still see me. And then I will. Yeah, because our webcam's not overlapping or anything. But then this one, which would be the 1080p one. Oh, that's way too big. Well, that's sort of more like that size. There we go. Put it in the middle. There we go. As you can see, we have our setup. I don't like the fact that there's the black border above and below, but it is what it is. So this video, as you can tell by the Twitch live thing where I have 0 viewers, is actually being live streamed. So I hope you enjoy. So, I am doing a deck profile on a deck that I love. I love this deck. I've played this deck, I want to say, I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2016. Well, let's go to the original story. So I played this deck when I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In general back in like 2008. Like I was playing it since like 2005, but this was the first deck that followed some sort of like, actual like consistency. Because back in like 2005 when the game first came out, I was playing shit like like fucking the Jin Turbo, which obviously back in those days is sort of how you had to play. But I kept playing like that until like the structure deck for this came out. Back in like back in like 2000, fuck it, I think it was like 2007. It's 2005 or 2006 or 2007. The structure for this came out. Um, I started playing that, and then I quit Yu-Gi-Oh around, I want to say 2008, 2009, playing little tidbits here and there in school, but that's about it. And I gave up until like 2016. And then I came back in 2016, and literally the next year, another structure deck for this dropped, and I instantly started playing the deck again. Was it 2017 or was it 2018 the structure for this came out? I can't remember. All I know is I started playing this deck as soon as the structure came out, and I just love it. I love the playstyle. I love the deck itself. So this is a very updated version because I did sell the unupdated version for like 30 quid because obviously at the time the structure deck was cheap. Now the structure deck is worth like £50 per copy. So the fact that I managed to get myself a hold of one of these is insane. I was just scrolling through, I think it was Zodiac, and someone was saying, "Hey, has anyone got any, decks for trade?" Da, da, da. And I thought, well, I'm on 67 decks. If someone's selling one for about 50, I can probably afford it. Let's see what people are selling. And instantly, I saw this, and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm buying this off him." I ain't been able to buy this because it's been too expensive. So we are talking about the zombies, which I will pump there. Zombies. I love this deck. I fucking love this deck so much. Um, Not many people do. For example, my boyfriend doesn't like playing against this. But I love the deck. I love its play style. I love the artwork. All of it is just magnifique, magnifique, magnifique. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking speak that. Anyway, so we're going to go straight to the deck profile. I'll do a pile shuffle and then we'll do some test hands on the video and you get to have a feel of how the deck itself plays. So, first things first, we have our triple Necrowell Banshee. This is your Zombie World Searcher. You don't need to run Terraforming because of this card alone. So, yeah. Literally, if that card didn't exist, you would be running like Terraforming and fucking Metaverse and all that. But you don't even need to run a single copy of either because you're running a playset of this. Next, we have our playset of Mezuki. Reason being is, well, Mizuki is like the best card in one of the best cards in zombies. It's literally just a monster reborn. To ban it if you banish it, which if you find a way of resummoning it, like putting it back in your graveyard or whatever, boom, you get even more. So it's Monster Reborn, but better in a sense, because obviously your entire deck is made of zombies. So, and plus you're running Zombie World. So yeah, Mizuki is amazing. You want to run a triple of that. I also play triple Gozuki because it's basically a Foolish Burial, and this deck relies heavily on like having Foolish Burials. Because obviously zombies love the graveyard, you try to get them into said graveyard. So we've got our Gozukis for that purpose. Plus, also it has the added caveat of it being a level 4, which allows you to be able to go into some synchro plays that you wouldn't normally. Plus, on top of that, you're able to like run other stuff on top of it. So, there's a lot of good plays here. I love this deck. I love the fact that I'm able to run the Gozuki, and I'm pretty sure there's a level 1 Earth Tuner you can run in a zombie deck that can make you go change Gozuki into a Nat Beast as well, which is quite nice. So I'm going to look into that because I don't think I have a copy of that tuner, but I might see if I can get one. Next, we have our Shiranui Solitaires. Now, Solitaire is only here for one reason. Its effect attribute itself to put a tuner on the board. So this deck is quite synchro heavy. I will admit. And as someone who actually quite likes the synchro mechanic, yeah, this is really nice. So Solitaire is literally only used for that, maybe to bring itself back off of Mizuki to go into a certain play we'll go into later. Next we have our triple Unizombie. Obviously, this is the best card in the deck. This is, like, if Unizombie didn't exist, zombies wouldn't be even close to the level they're at now. Unizombie is the bread and butter of every single zombie deck. If you do not run 3, I don't know what you're doing. So basically it's, hey, send a zombie from your hand to increase its level by 1. Okay. Send a zombie from the deck to increase its level by 1. You can use both once per turn. So you can essentially, off of one uni, get 2 zombies that you want engraved. Because again, zombies love being in the graveyard. So off of one Unizombie, you can go into a ton of plays. The Shiranui Solitaire at 3 is also because if you mix that with Unizombie, so go into Unizombie off of the Shiranui is now in grave, you use Unizombie to send a Mizuki either from hand or deck to grave to be able to revive said Shiranui Solitaire. You can either do a Synchro 8 or you can go into Halki Fibrax. So yeah, no, this deck, Unizombie is like one of the best parts of the deck. Next we have our triple Glow Up Bloom. I'm going to get a bit of like backlash for this because I know a lot of people only run the 2. I personally prefer to have the 3 because then obviously if for whatever reason they negate 1 or 2 of them, I still have the 3rd. There's also the sheer fact of I don't mind it in my beginning hand because you can still do plays with it. And also, as I said, it banishes itself. So in late game, if you have no way of getting your Glow Up Bloom back to the graveyard to use its effect again, you have to, like, yeah, so it's good to have the 3 so you can have later plays of its effect, which its effect is, if it's sent to the graveyard, it can banish itself from said graveyard to special summon a level 5 or higher zombie if you have Zombie World up, or add it to hand from deck. So you can have a Doom King Baladroch in your deck, and if you have Zombie World up, Glow Up Bloom allows you to get the Baladroch out. Meanwhile, if you don't have it out, you can have it in hand for whatever reason. So it's good for that. And as I said, for late game, you're always going to want to see a copy of Glow Up Bloom for like those sort of plays. So that's what we're running triple of that for. Next, we're running a single Plague Spreader. Reason being is you don't need more than one. Like, it's searchable off Hulk, it's sendable off of basically most cards in this entire deck. It's searchable off the Shiranui Solitaire if you really want. So you only need the 1 copy. Sure, its effect is once per... Is it once per duel or once per turn? Oh no, it's once per turn, but then it banishes itself. So yeah, it's not ideal to run 1 for that reason, but I can't find a run for a 3rd one, and I don't for a 2nd one, and I don't really think you need the 2. So I'd personally only run the 1 Plague Spreader. And then for the finale of our tuners section, we have double Ash Blossom. A lot of people would again argue run free, so you have it in beginning hand constantly. But again, it's good to have the Ash, but I can't find the room for the third, and I'd rather not cut consistency to run an extra hand trap. So I'm consistently getting said hand trap rather than, oh, I've got an Ash, I can stop a play here and there. This entire deck is control. Like, you don't really need the Ash Blossom to begin with, to be honest. But it's nice to have it for later plays. Plus, it's a tuner. You can do, like, tuner plays with it for whatever reason. Next, we're going to go into the high-level zombies. These are your glow-up bloom targets. So, buckle up, buckaroo. We have our double Fraulein. Reason being is Fraulein is very nice for basically just going, lol, your attack, it does nothing because I have extra attack points now. Fuck you. So Fraulein's good for that. Also, it special summons itself from hand during the battle phase, so can't go wrong. Next, we have our double Jacobolan. Again, I've seen people run 3. I run the 2. I see a lot more success when I only run the 2. Plus, it brings itself back from the banish pile for its own effect. So Dracobolan is a level 7 or 8. I've never actually needed it for synchro plays. Yeah, it's level 7. So if you need it for synchro plays, there you go. But I mostly use it for either link plays or use it to snatch steal an opponent's graveyard monster. Because its effect is you can banish it to target one zombie in your opponent's graveyard. Bear in mind, Zombie World turns all monsters in the graveyards to zombie. Ooh, big brain. And then you special summon it when this is banished. And then during the next standby phase, I think it is, or end phase, one of the two, it special summons itself back on board. It's nuts. So you basically just get rid of your opponent's boss monster via like a Baladroch or a Fraulein combo, and then you just go, Jacobolan, take your boss monster. I now own the boss monster. Ha ha hoo hoo. Talking of boss monsters, double Baladroch. I never see a need for a third Baladroch. Like if you, I don't know. I don't know why people. I used to run through Baladroch, but I don't see the point because it's recurs itself. You have recursion in the sense of like Mizuki and other cards, and then on top of that, it's searchable off of Glow-Up Bloom. And it kind of clogs up your hand if it's in your beginning hand, to be fair. So 2 is nice because obviously then you can go into it multiple times, but other than that, yeah, not really. Also, I do want to point out one of them is a misprint. I'm very happy about that. Like I opened up the package I ordered, like so I need to order like 1 or 2 more Baladroches. And the Baladroch that I opened, even though on eBay it showed that it was like completely normal, came out as a misprint, and I love it. I've got a misprint Baladroch now. I think they're somewhat common, but I still love that I've got a misprint. And I got a misprint for basically nothing. It's amazing. Next, we're going to go into the spells. So, obviously, triple zombie world. Like, you're playing zombies. If you don't run triple zombie world, then again, I have no clue what on earth you're doing. Because obviously, zombie world is the bread and butter of a zombie deck. Next, we're going to run triple Book of Life. Book of Life is target a zombie in your grave, banish 1 monster from your opponent's grave, special summon the target from your grave. So basically, I'm able to revive and called by you at the same time. Except called by obviously negates, this doesn't. But I can just stop you from bringing back a monster I don't want you to bring back. Obviously, I still have the Jacobolan, so I could even take out 1 or 2 of these to run the extra like Plague Spreader and the extra Jacobolan. But as a non-monster card, it's quite nice because obviously if your opponent's running something like Mystic Mine or if your opponent's running the Monarch Stormforth or anything like that, you can still take your opponent's monster out of play, grab your own monster, and then get yourself out of the situation where you can't use monster effects. So in that case, unless they have an Omni Negate, it's better. So I tend to run 3 for that reason. Next, we're running 1 Foolish. We're running triple Gozuki. Why wouldn't we run the extra Foolish as well? Big brain. And then for the finale of the spells, it's a very obvious one. We're playing Zombie World, so you've got to run your triple Super Poly. Because obviously you're going to just fuse your 2 opponent's zombies into the zombie target, which is quite nice. So yeah, that's it. That's it for spells. Next, for the 1 trap that we run, but we run it as a playset. Rivalry. So, it's a nice little combination that everyone who plays zombies or has played against zombies knows, but if you've had no experience with zombies, I will explain this combo. Zombie World changes your opponent's monsters to zombies, right? So, the second your opponent summons any monsters, if they're not playing zombies, You flip the rivalry. They now have a monster on board that is a zombie, and rivalry states that they can only control one type of monster, which, because they now have a zombie, they have to summon zombies from now on, unless they get rid of that monster somehow. But you cannot attempt to link summon, you cannot attempt to Xyz, synchro, you cannot attempt to tribute, you cannot attempt to, do any of this unless it's a zombie, right? Because you cannot attempt to summon any type of monster unless it's a zombie, because you are under the restriction of rivalry. Because even though the end goal is you no longer control a zombie and you brought out a new monster, it still states that you cannot attempt to summon unless it's a zombie. Because if for whatever reason I stop you from losing that monster for your summon, so say you're trying to tribute summon, I make it so you cannot tribute your own monsters, you can only tribute my monsters. You cannot attempt to do that because obviously you'd have more than one type. Because even though it turns to a zombie as soon as it hits the board, it's still a fairy in hand, say. So it's actually quite nice. Plus, Zombie World has the nice adage where you cannot tribute unless it's a zombie, which means monarchs also die to it, which is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, I find that hilarious. So yeah, that's it for the main deck for zombies, which I don't know if you agree, but it's quite consistent. You're able to do a lot of plays quite quickly. So when we go into the extra, we've got our 3 Super Poly targets in the form of the Drago Necros. We run a playset of this because, yeah, you can run Predaplants and that, but then that requires your opponent to be like playing like fusions or be playing darks or whatever. If you run just a playset of this, you can constantly get rid of 2 monsters your opponent controls because you've constantly got your Zombie World up. So Super Poly's always live in a sense. Obviously, if you don't have Zombie World for whatever reason, it's not live anymore. But again, this deck is Turbo Zombie World, sit on Zombie World. So there's a good chance you have Zombie World whenever you have Super Poly. So yeah, it's quite nice. Next, we're going into... So this is immediately going to show off a next card. So I'm actually going to move that next card forward a bit. So we're going to do a Synchro and a Link at the same time. Mighty Metal Marcher and Halki Fibrax. So Hulk is one of those cards where if you can make a tuner and a non-tuner at any time, if you can synchro summon at any time, you might as well run a Hulk. Because Hulk is just so fucking dumb. Others might know it by the name of Needle Fiber. If you play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! In any way, shape or form, you know what Hulk is, you know what Needle Fiber is. If you don't, and you're just getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh!, allow me to explain. Although, I don't know why you're watching this if you're just getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because fucking zombies are not cheap. So Hulk is one of those cards where if you can synchro summon, you can link the tuner and the non-tuner instead into Halki Fibrax. Halki Fibrax then has an effect where you can special summon a level 3 or lower tuner from your deck to the field. Have its effects negated, but it's now on the field, right? So, actually no, I think March is the one that negates the effects. Yeah, so actually Hulk still keeps the effects up. So what you tend to do in this deck in particular is you go Shiranui Solitaire into Uni sending say a Necro Well Banshee from hand to grave, send a Mezuki from deck to grave, use Mezuki to banish itself, special summon back the Shiranui Solitaire, chaining the effect of Necro Well Banshee to get myself a Zombie World, link the 2 Unizombie and the Shiranui into Hulk. Hulk effect, special summon the Glow Up Bloom, and then link away the Glow Up Bloom into Link Karibo, and then Glow Up Bloom's effect, because it'll send to grave, banish itself, special summon Doom King Baladroch. I now have a Baladroch, a Zombie World, and a Hulk that can set off the Baladroch effect, because if you don't know what the Baladroch does, because obviously I don't think I explained it, anytime a zombie effect is activated, right, you can only do it once per turn though, but if a zombie effect is activated, I can negate or I can target a card on the field and banish it. So, Hulk having the effect in my opponent's turn to banish itself to special summon the Metal Marcher means I can, at any point during my opponent's turn, force out the Hulk, which then forces out the Baladroch to banish. I've got a free banish at any time. Or if my opponent's playing a monster that has a really dumb effect that I don't want them to go off, I can just Baladroch that instead. You know? So zombies are quite good for that combo. And then obviously the Link Karibo is just lol, I lower your attack points, hoo hoo hee hee. So that's it. So I'm going to put these back to where they were in the extra deck. We'll just skip them when we get to it though. But yeah, that's why I'm running the Metal Marcher. Is for the Hulk plays. Metal Marcher's effect, because it can special summon itself off of the Hulk's banish effect, is when it's summoned, I can target a tuner in my graveyard and special summon it, but negate its effects. So what I'll do is that I'll just get my Unizombie back, and then at any time I can then like link away, make an extra link, the bish bash bosh. I've got an extra body on board basically. Next we've got our Plague Spreader synchros. We've got one Revived King Husted and one Doom Kaiser. Now, main reason I'm running these is they're good. You know, you can synchro them with the Plague Spreader on any level 4, so I'm not going to say they're bad in that sense, but one of the main reasons is the ultis are kind of cheap. And as a man who loves his rarity, yeah, I bought a copy of each of the rare ultis. But Doom Kaiser is actually probably the best one out of the two. So Doom Kaiser's effect is you get to target any zombie in any graveyard when that's synchro summoned and special summon it. When Doom Kaiser leaves the field, get rid of the monster you special summoned with its effect. But A, it gets you an extra link material. B, it allows you to steal a boss monster as long as you keep him protected. And you know, again, it's just an extra deck. Hey, I get to steal a graveyard monster. Fuck you. So for that reason, Doom Kaiser is quite a good synchro to be running in this deck. Next, we're going to go into the double Red Eyes Necro. Now, Red Eyes Necro has the effect of, if a zombie destroys a monster by battle, you get to take that monster for your own, right? But it also has the added effect of, for every zombie on the field or in either player's graveyard, it gains attack points. I think it's like 100 for each one. So bear in mind, I'm constantly dumping cards. They're using their own resources, and with Zombie World, both of our fields and graveyards are zombies. You can get a 2,400 attack point monster up to like 5k quite easily. Like, it sounds stupid, but it's actually quite easy. I've had like a 5k Necro Dragon a few times. So running 2 of it's quite nice. It's a level 7 synchro, which means it's easy to go into off of just base Unizombie and any level 4. You can even do it off of a level 5 and Plague Spreader even, if you want to do that. Or a level 6 and fucking Glow Up Bloom. Again, don't know why you'd want to do it, but you can. Obviously, Metal Marcher also is a level 3, so you could even go into it off of the Metal Marcher. And then we go into the level 8s. We're running a Omega. This is so we can get the Mizuki, Plague Spreader and all that back in the graveyard. So they are officially recurable at this point, hence why I'm running 2 Plague Spreader synchros. Even though you could just normal summon the Plague Spreader and then, you know, use its effect to synchro and then use its effect to bring itself back out and synchro the second time. You could do that, or you could just go lol Omega, put it back in grave, use effect again. So yeah, Omega's good for that, plus obviously it's a hand loop. Can't go wrong. 1 Beals, it's a very difficult synchro for your opponent to get over unless they're particularly prepared for it. So again, it's quite nice to bring out. It's quite easy. Again, most of your zombies are dark, so you're always going to have a dark tuner and a non-tuner. Like, it's easy. So yeah, that's quite easy to bring out. And then for the final finale of the synchros, it's a weird one, but I'll explain it. Stardust. We're running Stardust because this is your way of protecting your board. So if you can, the best board you can physically make in this deck is a Baladroch, a Stardust, a Zombie World, and a Rivalry. Reason being is you can now control 2 zombies because you've got Zombie World, right? You've got Rivalry, which stops your opponent from doing anything with it. Stardust, which will stop your opponent from destroying any card at any time, and then it brings itself back, and because it goes to the graveyard, not banished for its effect, it stays a zombie, so you don't ever get fucked over by your own Rivalry at that point. Yes, this deck can be fucked over by its own Rivalry here and there, because obviously you can't Hulk if you've already got Rivalry and Zombie World up and whatnot, but again, that's more if you're playing the combo side. This is more like a combo control deck, so you can play combo, you can play control, you can play both. I tend to like to play both if I can, but obviously if I can't, then I can't. Then for the finale of the extra, because we've already gone through the Hulk and the Link Karibo, we've got double Vampire Sucker. Vampire Sucker is just a nice link 2. It allows you to extend your link plays. It's a free draw, which also sets off the Baladrots during the standby phase, if need be. I don't think it is need be because normally your opponent doesn't have a board to deal with. You get a free draw, which allows you to get more card advantage. And also if you were to tribute someone one of your zombies, which you technically can, you can tribute your opponent's zombie monsters for it while you have a sucker out, and again, zombie world, your opponent's monsters are zombies. So, yeah, Vampire Sucker is actually really good in the deck too for that reason. So you run 2 of it. Personally, I would run the 3rd, but again, where would I put it? Like, I don't know what I'll take out for it because the Stardust is quite good, the Beals is quite good, the Omega's quite good. Obviously, you need the triple for the Super Poly. Double Red Eyes is probably the best because obviously the level 7 is the more likely one you're able to go into. Obviously, I want to run both of my ultis. I've got the Metal Marcher for the Hulk, and then yeah, so there's not really much you can take out for the 3rd Sucker, unfortunately. So what we're going to do now, as I said earlier, is I'm going to quickly pile shuffle, and then we are going to do a test hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, no, zombies are a deck that I hold near and dear to my heart for the sheer fact of they were the first deck I ever built that wasn't just a mishmash. They were also the deck that I played when I was in school. They're also the first structure deck I ever played. Plus, I didn't say this earlier, I went to a regional like a week or 2 after the zombie structure deck came out because my mate wanted me to go. So I went, yeah, sure, I'll take my zombies. You know, I'm having fun with them at the moment. Da da da. And bear in mind, this is around about the time that yeah, this is around about the time that Thunder Dragons were around. I don't know if it was pure Thunder Dragon or Danger Thunder Dragons. I think it might have been Danger. I could be wrong. And I played the tournament. You know, I lost to quite a few Danger decks. I lost to like Noble Knights and whatnot. Well, I didn't lose to Noble Knights. I won that. But like, I was losing to a few good decks. You know, I lost to a Sky Striker player. But every single time I got matched with a Thunder Dragon player, I won. Because obviously, Thunder Dragons, as much as I love the deck, need a Thunder on board to basically do anything. So if you turn everything they control into zombies constantly, they can't do a thing about it. So they're kind of stuck with, oh, I can't summon Colossus. Oh, I can't go into Titan either. So it really fucks over their playstyle. Sure, they can run like a banish engine and make it so every card on the field gets banished and whatnot. But bear in mind, Zombie's structure deck only came out like a week before. So they weren't really like thinking about, oh, zombie structure deck, everyone's going to be playing that. They just thought people were going to be playing like maybe the Dino one because a lot of hype was around that at that time because obviously Miscreep was in it. Obviously Ulti Conductor. They were quite good cards and they still are. So people were more worried about the dinos than they were the zombies at that tournament, so they weren't really siding for like a zombie matchup. And I ended up like, it's not a great number. I got like 27th, I think it was. But that was still higher than I ever thought I could have, because like, bear in mind I only got back into Yu-Gi-Oh like the year prior. So to do well with a deck that I loved at an actual proper tournament for my first ever tournament, for like a year after I fucking came back into the game, yeah, it just made me love the deck more. It really did. Like, I know why I did well, because obviously, yeah, Thunder Dragons have a really bad matchup, but doesn't mean it's any less satisfying when you get the win. So, we're going to do a random test hand here. Hopefully we don't pull any multiples, because pulling multiples in test hands is never really that good, even in zombies. So, this is our test hand. It's actually a very good test hand immediately. So what you do is you would Jacoboland sending the Baladroch, activate the zombie world, and end turn. As stupid as that sounds, you can instantly get your Doom King Baladroch back during the standby in defense, right? You now have a negate. You have a free rip at any time of their graveyard. You have a negate their search. Just off of like a beginning hand. No searching, no combo, just boom. I actually have not the worst board in the world. Off of like, what, one summon and one spell activation. That's it. So, and bear in mind, that's what I would call a bad hand. I would call that a really bad hand. Like, you wouldn't want that hand ever again if you could help it. So we'll go with a different hand. Let's see how this one plays out, yeah? Boom. Boom, we've got Solitaire. That's all we need is the Solitaire. And we've got a Baladroch, which isn't great, but it is what it is. So we would normal the Solitaire. Solitaire effect to give us the Uni. Then I would Unizombie. How am I going to play this? Because I need to get Banshee to grave. I do need the Banshee in grave. I could send the Gozuki. Gozuki banishes the... Yeah, so Gozuki. Gozuki effect to banish the Solitaire. To special summon from hand the Baladroch. Link 2 for the Hulk. Halki Fibrax effect to special summon... trying to think, because I need to get the... So I need to get the field spell, which is making this kind of difficult. I'm not going to lie, this hand isn't great. That going to that allows me to go into that, I guess. But even then, that doesn't really... Oh, actually, yeah, no. Let me read, because if it works, it works. Okay, yeah, so I would give myself a Glart Bloom, right? And then you would link away said Glart Bloom, which would then banish itself, going into your Link Karibo. Then effect of the Glart Bloom, because I don't have Zombie World, I can't search, I can't add it to field, I have to add it to hand. I'd go Jackabolin. Then Jackabolin would discard the Fraulein, because obviously I can revive that at any point. Go Jackabolin. Jackabolin effect to banish itself until the end phase, to bring back the Gozuki. Gozuki effect to send the Necroworld Banshee. Necroworld Banshee, banish, getting me the Zombie World. And then obviously during their standby phase, I'd get the Baladroch back. So what I'm actually going to do instead is banish the Gozuki, because it gets banished when it's summoned via Jackabolin. Link away the Link Karibo. Going to a Vampire Sucker. And then pass turn. Then obviously during standby, I'd get the Jackabolin back first. Then I would get the Baladroch back. Now, again, I have a no you can't search, no your zombie can't do shit, that all your monsters are zombies. I get a free draw for the Sucker, which is a Mizuki, which is air. I've got Bolin, which again can steal opponent's monster, and I've got the Hulk for Hulk plays. So, even in a bricky hand, or a hand where you can't easily get the Zombie World, you can make it where you can get the Zombie World and still make a decent board. So, yeah, no, zombies... That's why a lot of people don't like zombies, is because their control, their combo, and so it plays around any kind of playstyle your opponent can try to negate. Because if your opponent goes, oh, I'm anti-control, I'm going to stop all their back row, I just go, okay, I'm just going to go with combo then, and I'm just going to go into like big beat sticks and fuck you over. And it's also anti-combo, because if you go, oh, I'm going to stop their combo by Nibiruing if they go into too many summons, okay, I'll just get it so I can go into Baladroch and Zombie World, that's it. Go ahead, my friend. Like, yeah, no, zombies are one of those decks where it's hard to sort of counteract really easily. Like, you can still counteract it quite easily if you know what you're doing, but if nobody's ever played against zombies, or if they played against zombies but they still don't quite get where the points to hit are, this deck can really easily fuck over opponents' plays, and it's really good. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. I will be uploading this during the stream. So, when this is uploaded, I will have the stream in the link below. If you want to catch the rest of the stream while I'm live, you may do so. I hope you guys enjoy. Ta-ta for now.